guys, Mr. Google here to do two reviews for you guys. Zero Dark 30 and Not Fade Away. I'm going to have Not Fade Away in a separate review, but let's talk about Kathryn Bigelow's Zero Dark 30. Like I said, it's directed by Kathryn Bigelow, who did The Hurt Locker and won the first female Best Director award at the Oscars 3 years ago, which is pretty badass. And it stars Jessica Chastain, Joel Edgerton, James Gandolfini, Chris Pratt, tons of people, Mark Strong, Jason Clarke, and Mark Duplass. I mean, what a cast. What an ensemble. Now, I was extremely looking forward to Zero Dark 30, alright? The first trailer was lame, but then that theatrical trailer, that shit blew my mind. All this awards buzz, it's insane. I don't know whether or not the Academy loves blowing Kathryn Bigelow's vagina, but it's like, what the hell? It's crazy, the buzz for this movie. It's like, I've seen it on everyone's top 10 list. Everyone. On YouTube, professional movie critics. It's like insane, the buzz. Now, even though I wouldn't put it in my top 10 per se, spoiler alert, it's in my honorable mentions, don't worry, it's in my top 20, alright? So, don't worry about that. It's just not in my top 10. I'll explain why. To get the flaws out of the way first, I think it did run a bit too long, and I thought that middle section, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that middle section was a little slow. And you could have cut some scenes out, you could have, like, trimmed some scenes down, but other than that, I thought the editing was fine. I thought the pacing was really good. For a 2.5 hour long movie, I thought the pacing was very, very well. It's just a little bit of it was a little long. And my other problem is that there's this actress in this movie, which we, spend a bit of time with, Jennifer Ehle. And I wasn't a fan of her at all. I thought she was the weakest of the cast. I would be nominating it for Best Cast if it wasn't for her. For the NIFA Awards, by the way. Which is a category now. Yeah. But Jennifer Ehle's storyline was just like, what in the fuck? No, she's not even likable. She's a dumbass. You'll see what I mean if you see the movie. That character just annoyed me. But other than that, this movie was damn near perfect. But not perfect enough to make my top 10 list. Now I sound like an asshole. But this movie was really fucking cool. I will definitely be nominating Kathryn Bigelow for Zero Dark 30 for Best Director. She did such a great job, and just as good of a job she did for The Hurt Locker. And just how the way it's edited, it's just awesome. It's the way she uses the color palette in this movie makes it look very gritty and very suspenseful. She knows how to build up intense scenes. I mean, just basing off this, The Hurt Locker, and even Point Break. Now, going on to this cast is pretty fucking awesome. I had 3 favorites in this movie. Everyone was great. Everyone. Mark Strong and Jason Clarke and Jessica Chastain were the 3 best to me. But I just loved everyone's appearance in this movie. James Gandolfini was really good. Mark Duplass, just the 5 minutes he's in is just, he's great. He's really awesome. I want to see him in more movies. By the way, he's getting a NIFA nomination for Safety Not Guaranteed. I'm spoiling a lot of NIFA. The nominations are coming out today, by the way, so expect a video for that as well. But Jessica Chastain blew me away. My computer started on. My computer's been fucking up. But Jessica Chastain was so great in this film. Seriously, she deserves all the buzz she's getting. If she actually wins, I think she has a long career ahead of her, but if she wins, good for her. But I want Jennifer Lawrence to win for Silver Linings Playbook. But still, I thought Jessica Chastain really drove this movie home for me. And Mark Strong has, the first scene he's introduced is so awesome, and he's just so intense, and he really wants to get Bin Laden, and he's like, ah! He's screaming to everyone in the room. It's really awesome. And Jason Clarke, who's not in a lot of this movie, but he's in a good portion of it, and he's just so awesome. He comes off as scary, yet really charismatic, and there's one scene where he's in a Clarke and he gives this guy a Lamborghini, and it's pretty awesome. It's really awesome, actually. The Raid was really awesome. Chris Pratt. Forgot to mention Chris Pratt. Andy from Parks and Rec. I love that guy. Whenever I see that guy, I'm just going to think Andy from Parks and Rec. And how he's married to Aubrey Plaza, who I want to marry. But I love Chris Pratt. You just gotta give him a hug. And he has probably the funniest line in the entire movie. Okay? When they're doing this raid. It's really awesome. But when they're checking the house. I'm just gonna give away spoilers. No, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna give this a very strong 9 out of 10. It's definitely in my top 20. Be sure to look out for that for my honorable mentions in my top 10 best movies of the year video. And yeah, I'm Mr. Google. Don't forget the ski cap. And I'll be back for Not Fade Away.